الحمد لله رب العالمين، نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. اللهم اهدنا صراطك المستقيم، اللهم اجعلنا هداة مهديين لا ضالين ولا مضلين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وكل من اهتدى بهديه إلى يوم الدين. قال تعالى: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. اللهم أحينا مسلمين وتوفنا مسلمين وألحقنا بالصالحين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. ثم أما بعد. All praise is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Him. We testify that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah ta'ala alone with no partners, and we testify that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is the final messenger sent with guidance, with mercy for mankind, to take them, to show them the way of Allah and take them to Al-Jannah. Allahumma ja'alna, O Allah, make us all of those who fully embrace His deen and fully follow in His footsteps. Allahumma ameen. Al-ghadab, anger. Very rarely that you will find somebody does not get angry. It's probably impossible. Everybody gets some share of ghadab, of anger, in a way or another. But when we talk about anger, it's not all the way bad. Most of the time it's bad. But if somebody never gets angry for anything, this is also bad. فَمِنْهُ الْمَحْمُودُ وَمِنْهُ الْمَذْمُومُ. Some of it is good, some of it is bad, some of it is permissible. If you talk about the permissible, actually the obligatory one, you will see Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and prophets in general, they will get angry, but they will only get angry when the rules of Allah are crossed. Somebody is crossing the limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Musa alayhi salam went to talk with Allah. كلم الله عز وجل سيدنا موسى. He came back only to find his people worshipping the calf. عبدوا العجل. فأخذه الله فألقى الألواح. He was angry that he threw the very scrolls that Allah gave him at Torah, Allah gave him the Torah written. And he was so angry for Allah that his own people that he preached and helped and led are now, for just he left them a few days, and now they molded a calf and they are worshipping it. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is described by Aisha radiallahu anha, قال, he never took revenge for himself. من تقم لنفسه قط. Only if إلا أن تنتهك حرمة من محارم الله. Only if there is something haram being committed, you will see him now getting angry, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Abu Mas'ud al-Ansari, another example, he said, Ya Rasulullah, wallahi, I come late for Salat al-Fajr because of such and such the Imam. It's making it so long and it's difficult for me, so I come late. فغضب النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. He becomes so angry. He said, how come some of you, إن منكم منفرين, some of you push people away from Islam? Don't do that. He is now getting angry not for himself, but for one of the limits being crossed, even if it's by the Imam, even if it's by making Salah longer, but that will push some people away because this is not the balance of the right way. And he also, one other example, he came out to see the Sahaba and Aza'un. They are almost fighting. They are arguing, and the argument is so hard that Aza'un fil Qadr. What is Qadr? I think it's this. Qadr is the divine plan. Why is this happening? The same question is being repeated. And he becomes so much angry, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that he said, قالوا حتى فكأنما يفقأ في وجه حب الرمان من الغضب. It's as if you see pomegranate juice spilled on his face. He was so red that he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, لهذا أمرتم أو لهذا خلقتم تضربون القرآن بعضه ببعض. Is that what you do? Because everybody's quoting an ayah. You are clashing the ayat of the Quran. That's the action of the nations before you. We need to submit and we need to know our limits. When it comes to qadr, we can talk, we can try to understand, but get it. We will never be able to fully understand it because this is the plan, the divine plan. We're not gods. We will never be gods. Astaghfirullah. We will never be able to fully understand God's business. Maybe when you see Allah in Jannah, you can ask Him about that. Point is, do not, وَلَا تَنَازَعُوا, as Allah said in the Quran. We don't want to fight, even over religion, or understanding that when it gets to that level, that is something that will make Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam get to the level of ghadab. One of his du'a كان يقول صلى الله عليه وسلم وأسألك كلمة الحق في الرضا والغضب. Oh Allah, I pray and ask you to make me say the haqq, the truth, in both rida and ghadab. When I'm happy, when I'm not happy, when I'm content, when I am mad. Always sticking to the haqq is going to be difficult, especially when we are angry. But al-ghadab al-mahmud minhu is to see some of the good, to get angry is to see all of these Muslims being killed. Actually, if you are not moved by this, there is not a shak. There is definitely something wrong in your iman. It's not a doubt. There is something wrong in your iman, in your faith, if you see Muslims or humans in general being killed in this way, and you don't even feel anything. You don't have ghadab. You don't have that anger in your heart. There is something wrong. This is mahmoud, is to see and try to do something about it, to change it or stop it. But the third one is the one that we're going to talk about mostly, which is getting angry over everything, over trivial things, over insignificant things, and getting so much angry that you end up committing something. You allow shaitan to lead you. You allow ghadab or anger to dictate what you say and what you do, and you end up saying or doing something that you will regret at the end. Sometimes even committing crimes, killing, divorcing, destroying your life, taking your own life. Why? Because of anger, because you just lost control. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saw somebody. He said, somebody is committing sin after sin after sin after sin. He is sinning. يذنب. ثم يتوب ثم يذنب. قال والله لا يغفر الله لك. I swear by Allah, Allah will never forgive you. So this person is like, he's looking at a sinner, and it looks like he is making, he's getting angry because of this is sinning too much. Right? But you do not cross the limit. You may get angry or something, but don't cross the limit. Don't swear that Allah will never forgive him. Allah said, who is that swearing on me not to forgive such and such? I forgive him, and I turn void all of your actions. We don't want to cross the limits when we get angry. This is an example of somebody getting all of his actions voided because of that. Abu Dharr al-Ghifari, one of the great Sahaba, he ended up getting angry, and then he started using jahiliyyah with another Sahabi, calling him by his mother's name or the color of his skin, and the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam called him, you are a person who still have jahiliyyah and ignorance in your heart. Because he got angry, he crossed the limit, and the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam corrected that. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu يقول فوالذي نفس أبي القاسم بيده لقد تكلم بكلمة أو بقت دنياه وأخرى. This is regarding the person who swear that Allah will not forgive the person. Abu Hurairah gave a comment. He said one word out of anger that destroyed both his life and akhirah, his dunya and his life here in the akhirah, because he's swearing upon Allah out of anger. Al-ghadab al-mubah, you may be angry unless or as long as it does not involve any ma'siyah. It does not involve any crossing of the limit. However, if you suppress this anger, this is going to be good for you. You will be rewarded. وَالْكَاظِمِينَ الْغَيْظَ وَالْعَافِينَ عَنِ النَّاسِ. Those who suppress their anger and those who forgive others, that will give you automatically to the level of ihsan, to the level of perfection, which is a very high level. We're not talking about that you need to get angry. No, this is something you may or may not, but you decide to, I'm not going to get, or when I get angry, I will try to control myself. What could be the reasons for ghadab? What are the causes, the common causes of ghadab that will lead anybody or most of us to get angry? Number one, al-ujb, wal-ghurur, wal-kibr, ego, arrogance, that you do not allow anybody to give a comment. You don't accept advice. Who are you to give me anybody who speaks to you? You will take it against your own ego because you're arrogant. You will get angry over anybody discussing anything or saying anything to you. And this is something that we need to avoid. We need to humble ourselves and get down to accept, to be able to deal with each other. It's okay. You can give me an advice. I can give you an advice. As long as it's within the respectable limits. So number one reason is if you think you are above, Somebody talking to you will give in. We're not talking about personal things here. We're talking about general things that we should be able to deal with one another. Cause number 2 is too much argument. We argue over everything right now. What are we going to eat? What do we talk about? What color of this? Argument upon argument, mirad and mirad and mirad, argument upon argument, and then we end up, losing the control, and then it will take you to the next level. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, أنا زعيم بيت في روض الجنة وفي أعلى الجنة وفي وسطها. I am going to be the leader of a house or a palace or a place in Jannah in the highest level, in the middle of it, for those who give up argument. This is unnecessary argument. It's not scientific. It is not to try to find the haqq or the truth. It is something that's back and forth for no reason. He said, I am going to be the leader of this palace for those people who give up this nonsense argument, even though they think they are right. Because guess what? Everyone thinks they are right. Nobody is arguing out of, I'm wrong, but I still argue. This is kibr. You are category 1. This is because of arrogance. This is not just argument for argument. But general causes of argument, most of them, they will be unnecessary. Avoid that, so you will not lose most of the friends. You will not get into quarrels and fights. Number 3, too much jokes. The time and age we live right now, pranks, jokes, making fun of others, calling each other names, and from schools, we're talking teenagers, all the way to grown-ups and professionals. You know what does it take for somebody to give this comment? In the workplace, they cross the limit, thinking that they are joking. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam put a limit for all of that. If this is going to bother someone else, and by the way, by bothering, it's not that you say, I'm bothered. No, you will know it will bother you, so it will bother them. So we should stop most of these kind of jokes, nonsense jokes that will lead to anger on either side. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, nobody should take the mata', something that belonged to someone else, to prank them, kind of. You shouldn't do that. You hide the items. Oh, we're just joking. Don't do that. Don't do anything that might arouse someone else. وَيُورِثُ الْمِزَاحُ كَثِيرُ الْمِزَاحُ طَغِينًا. It would inevitably will lead to some kind of, he wouldn't like it, he will end up thinking of how to prank you. That's not to say all kinds of jokes are bad. No, but it's just like it's like salt for food. A little bit of it. You have to be very careful as to how much salt you put in the food. Too much salt is going to void the whole food. No salt at all is going to be tasteless. Maybe a little bit, and you don't want to lie. You don't want to make somebody else bothered by the way you're joking with them. The next one is al-bada' or fuhsh lisan, being vulgar. Crossing the limits, calling names. This is going to lead to somebody else getting angry for sure. And you getting a lot of sayyat. Al-mu'minu lam, a believer is never da'an or ta'an. Is never somebody who is always cursing. If we have this issue, we need to deal with it. You need to control your tongue, how you talk and how you address others. لَيْسَ الْمُؤْمِنُ بِالطَّعَانِ وَلَا اللَّعَانِ. And the next one is if you are in a company, in a gang, in a group that always, the things are misplaced. It's a sign of manhood to put others down, to call others names, to prank others, to be the alpha. And in this process, you will end up causing a lot of people to get angry. It's bravery to do this and that, to break the rules. Let's go there. This is me showing that get away. There is a lot of rules in the masjid, for example. I brag by breaking the rules in the school, in the masjid, in the street, in the way I drive, in the way I do things. You're thinking this because others lead you to think this way. One day you will grow up and you'll know this is not right. That was actually an action of being coward. Nobody sees me, let me break the rule. So that all depends on who do you hang out with. If you hang out with some good people, people of iman, people of faith, people of characteristics, people of manners, you will copy that, and you will be proud of doing that. You will take the bravery of helping others, of standing, of volunteering, of being there for those who are in need for help. And versus, you need to have something, some kind of story to share with your group. If they are good groups, you will have a good story. Bad group, yeah, you know what? I sneaked there, I did this, I did that. And that goes with all levels, not only teenagers or youth, but it goes with a lot of people who do things at different levels. So these are a few of the reasons that might lead to ghadab. What could be the treatment, the solution? And I'm here in those 2 minutes just sharing something quick with you. One thing that could be, first of all, Allah Azza, this is a disease, this is a sickness, marad, death. وَمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ دَاءٍ إِلَّا أَنزَلَ لَهُ دَوَاءً. Getting angry, being, this way, you never want to say, أنا غضوب, I'm just like that. This is how God created me. I do simper very easy. This is me. The minute you say that, you are accepting it. It's okay. You're thinking it's okay. You're just like this. There's no way for you. And everybody who gets angry would say that. إِلَّا مَنْ رَحِمَ رَبِّي. This is wrong. This is wrong argument to start with. So, إِنَّمَا الْعِلْمُ بِالتَّعَلُّمِ وَالْحِلْمُ بِالتَّحَلُّمِ. If you want to learn something, you have to go and put some effort to learn it. If you want to learn to be forbearing, to acquire anything new, you have to put some effort. Put some effort, and one day you will learn that. Number one, avoid any reason that will make you angry. Avoid any situation, any context, any environment, any friends, any groups, any thing that will push you to your limit. Just avoid that. You know what pushes you to your limit? Just avoid it. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said to somebody who told him or asked him, tell me something concise that will take me to Jannah. Something concise that will give me all the khayr. Different riwayat of the hadith. He said, La taghdab, don't get angry. Okay, well, something else. La taghdab, don't get angry. Third time he's asking, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is also telling him, do not get angry. La taghdab. This is the key for all evils. This is the key for shaitan to have full control over you. So by you not allowing it to get to you, by not getting angry, you are controlling yourself, and that's the wasiyah of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, or the advice of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam for that person. You're not allowing shaitan to put this sharp hole in your mind and heart. Because when you get angry, this is exactly what it is. Tool number 2 is أن تستعيذ بالله من الشيطان, is you seek help with Allah. Because when you get angry, شعبة من الجنون كما يقول, you are half mad, you're mad, you're crazy, you can do stuff that if you are yourself to see, if it's videotape and you watch yourself later, you will not believe this is you, or this is what you did. Even in how you look and how you speak and your actions, you would not believe that this is you. So what we need to do is we need to ask isti'adah. Oh Allah, I cannot help, you help me. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. That is the advice of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to that person. In the Quran, فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ وَإِمَّا يَنْزَغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَزْغٌ. When you are touched by shaitan, there's insinuation, there's nazg from shaitan. فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ, seek refuge, seek protection with Allah. إِنَّهُ هُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Ibn Kathir يقول وَإِمَّا يُغْضِبَنَّكَ من الشيطان غضب يصدك عن الإعراض عن الجاهلين ويحملك على مجاورتهم فاستعذ بالله أي فاستجب به. When you are being, the causes of you getting angry is done by those who are push you to do that, then this is the time that you need to seek protection with Allah and do not go their ways. So when you feel that you are touched by this, you need to ask isti'adah. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saw two people stab that, and one of them got very angry. They were cursing one another and fighting one another. So one of them his face was so much red. And then Sallallahu told the rest of the Sahaba, I know one word that if he used to say, La daba anhu ma yajid. What he's feeling right now will completely go away. If he says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, I seek refuge of Allah from shaitan rajim, from the devil. And then when he and Rasul later told him, not later, not even in the spot, he said, do you think I'm Majnun? That's how angry he was. He was even accepting that advice. He's not in a normal situation to talk. The Prophet is talking to him. He's saying, say out and He said, why do you think I have to say that? Do you think I'm mad? I'm crazy? He is crazy. So we can easily say this now, right? Including myself. It's easy to say that. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say out with that. But it's the challenges when you are in the heat of it, in the middle of it. When it strikes, This is when you really need to remember to seek true isti'azah from shaitan al-rajim, from the devil. Seek refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The next advice is to change your position. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, if you are angry, if you are standing, sit down. If you are sitting, maybe lay down. Changing the position. Make wudu or ghusl. Mention another hadith. He said, الغضب من الشيطان والشيطان من anger is from shaitan. And shaitan is being out of fire, and water will be enough to put out the fire. Go make wudu. Go get shower. Remember, Ghazali yaqul, especially with cold water. It's a istighfar for him. So go, get wudu, make shower, change your position. Another advice in the hadith, man غضب فليسكت. If you get angry, you should remain silent. Control your tongue, remain silent. Get out like Imam Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. One day Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came to visit his son-in-law, Ali radiallahu anhu, and Fatima. Where's Ali? He's not here. What happened? We just fought and he left. So when you fight, which will happen to everyone, leave. Please leave. Okay? Save yourself a lot of us. Just leave the house. Go for a couple of hours, maybe a few hours, and things will, the fire will be put out by itself most of the time. And again, we're talking about healthy relationships and normal lives. We're not talking about somebody who's abusive all the time. I'm not here to ask you to just remain silent and swallow it. That's not what we're talking about. This is somebody who needs help, higher level. We're talking about healthy, normal lives, how we avoid these things in the first place, or if they happen, how do we repel and deal with these situations. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين. اقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه فالتائب من الذنب كما لا ذنب له. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين الآثمين ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله رب العالمين ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله الأمين صلى الله وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. So, if you get angry, one of the good things to do is remain silent. Don't take any actions. Don't give any comment. Don't resign. Don't sign your resignation yet. Don't allow the divorce. Don't say anything. Don't announce. Do not make any decision. Realize that you are not in the right time or place, not in the right mind to do anything. By you realizing this is the key for it. Just go away. Do something. Don't say, just go away. Don't do anything. If you have to do anything, just leave or make wudu or things down this line. What will you get when you suppress your anger? When you control your anger, you will get to the level of ihsan, as we just quoted the ayah. Allah yuhibbul muhsinin. It will be a reason for you to enter Al-Jannah. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Another time, somebody, Abu Darda, asked him, tell me about something that will take me to Jannah. He said, La taghdab wa laka Jannah. Do not get angry and you will get to Jannah. Allah will give you or will put you in Jannah. You will be rescued from the ghadab of Allah. Abdullah ibn Amr asked the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ماذا يبعدني من غضب الله عز وجل؟ قال لا تغضب. What will make me far from the wrath of Allah, from the ghadab of Allah? He said, you not getting angry. Allah will not be angry with you. In the same way, if you show people rahmah, if you show people mercy, if you forgive others, Allah will forgive you. Do not get angry. Allah will not be angry at you if you do that. Anas radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Man khazana lisanahu, satara Allah awratahu. If you put your tongue in a safe, if you lock your tongue, Allah will cover, basically cover your tongue, Allah will cover your awra, your things that you don't want to show, the shortcomings, the weaknesses. Allah will cover this for you. وَمَنْ كَفَّ غَضَبَهُ كَفَّ اللَّهُ عَنْهُ عَذَابَهُ. And those who refrain, those who put their anger under control, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put His adab, will take His adab and punishment away from them. You do this to yourself, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take His adab and His punishment away from you. You're going to get a lot of reward in a hadith, مَا مِنْ جَرْعَةٍ أَوْ جُرْعَةٍ أَعْظَمَ أَجْرًا. There is nothing that will have more reward that you will swallow or you will just withheld than what you do when you suppress your anger. You have to put so much power. You need a lot of faith, and if you do this, there's no reward equivalent to that. If you do it for the sake of Allah, tabaraka wa ta'ala. There's a lot to say about this topic. But inshallah, we have two esteemed guests visiting us tonight, Brother Abdul Rahim and Brother Murad from Ocala. They will give us a lecture tonight, inshallah, about anger management. They have techniques and tools how to do that. This is going to be tonight, inshallah, along with our normal Friday program. Bring some food to share, and we come pray Maghrib, and we eat our food, chill out together and socialize, and then after that the lecture will begin with Brother Murad and Brother Abdul Rahim, inshallah. They have a lot of experience with this. Join us tonight for this, inshallah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. اللهم اغفر لنا إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم. اللهم تب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم تقبلنا يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك كلمة الحق في الرضا والغضب يا رب العالمين. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك يا مولانا سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من الغضب. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من مسببات الغضب. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك مما يترتب على الغضب. اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من سخطك والنار. Oh Allah, forgive our sins, Ya Rabb al-Alameen. Oh Allah, forgive all believing men and women, Ya Rabb al-Alameen. Oh Allah, we ask protection and refuge from you against ghadab, against being angry, against doing anything or saying anything while angry. Oh Allah, protect us from shaitan, protect us from our own selves. Protect us against evil, Ya Rabb al-Alameen. اللهم انك تعلم ما يشركنا فاصلحنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر الاسلام وعز المسلمين. والله aid and assist Muslims everywhere يا رب العالمين. اللهم اكشف الضر والبأساء والضراء عن اخواننا المستضعفين في فلسطين وفي غزه وفي لبنان وفي السودان وفي اليمن وفي كل مكان يا رب العالمين. والله alleviate and lift the pain from anybody who is suffering, from Muslims in Palestine, in Lebanon, in Yemen, in Sudan, everywhere, here, everywhere ya Rabb al-Alameen. Allah, those who are sick, give them shifa, give them cure, heal them ya Rabb al-Alameen. Those who passed away, give them rahmah ya arhamar rahimin. Allahumma arhamna wa arham mawtana wa mawta al-muslimin wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Couple of quick things inshallah before I go from here. One thing, alhamdulillah, Allah gave us beautiful masjid. Give me